We're talking proposals, babies, and deals on the season finale of $1 Million Listings, Season 9, Episode 12, Best and Final. We're talking about it next. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
You're welcome. Anytime.
Hey, good time. Happy New Year!
Thank you.
Celebrate good times.
Happy almost New Year, everyone.
Live from Beverly Hills.
Chris and I are over here celebrating. I don't know what they're doing
I was
over
trying to
there.
feed her some drink.
Welcome back, everybody.
Cheers, everybody. Cheers. Happy almost
Wait a minute.
Oh.
To the $1 Million Listing After Show on AfterBuzz TV. I'm your host, Erica Shannon. You can find me on Twitter at Miss Airy Baby. And my lively panelists tonight are...
Yeah, tell me about
Well,
it.
first, thank you, Miss Airy Baby, for providing all of these fun New Year's things. Cheers to everybody at home and everybody watching. My name is Chris Valentine. You can find me on Twitter at AKA Golden Boy, and website is chrisvalentine.la. Cheers.
Woo!
Thank you, Miss Airy Baby, for all of this. Happy almost New Year, everybody. I'm Nataly Tavidian. You can find me Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, NatalyTavidian.com, at Nataly Tavidian. That's Nataly with the Y.
What's up, everyone? I'm Nick Mardi. You can find me on Instagram and everywhere else. Nick Mardi, Mardi, and on YouTube at my own show, The
13,
Latest
you
Late
forgot
Show,
the 13.
amongst everything else.
Forgot the 13.
Nick Mardi 13 and The Latest Late Show. Boom. I think I
Latest
worded
Late
everything
Show.
out nicely.
Well, you've got one thing.
Beautifully.
What?
We always do coffee talk at the beginning, right? He had his live nude scene on BuzzFeed last
my
week.
Nude? It wasn't nude. It wasn't nude.
Well, practically,
Yeah.
very
Fill us in. What happened? How
skimpy
did I miss
outfits with like
this?
I was a
nothing.
sexy Santa for BuzzFeed shoot, and everything was like 3
Congratulations.
sizes too small.
Which is what they planned. That was all
I don't
planned
know.
out.
So prints.
I really don't
We're
think
talking
they.
about some prints that were happening.
It was imprints of everything going on. My hand is going down.
That's why they hired you, Nick.
You're welcome, ladies.
I don't know how.
And guys.
I genuinely don't think they realized I was as big as I am, and so they just had a Santa suit, and so as big muscular as
Okay,
I am.
All right.
I'm sure.
And the other way, hey,
They
what up?
just gave you the wrong size shirt.
But yes, congratulations, Nick.
Thank you.
Very happy for
Yes.
you. Cheers.
Cheers.
And cheers to this
A
episode.
bigger cheers
And
to
we're
the
gonna-
episode.
I'm gonna
Cheers.
miss all of you guys. This is the
Cheers
last
so
episode.
much.
Cheers to everybody that's listening, to everybody that's
Yes.
watching us.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for tuning in all season long. But I guess it's time to get into the episode now. We can start with Madison. He's out in Malibu, still wired shut.
Yeah.
Well, he literally zipped his mouth closed that last week, and then it happened. And I'm not going to get into metaphysics, but I thought that was very interesting that he actually,
Literally zipped his mouth.
he literally did it. And so it's like, okay, we're watching him. He can barely talk this week again, but he's making his way. He's not going to leave the show. I mean, he's going to get the listings done, and he's going to stay on television. So good for you, Madison. And I like how all of the real estate agents had something up their sleeve this week where they made the deal work. So I thought this was a great episode, and we got a lot of follow through on earlier episodes. So we found out what happened and got some closure, and so much happened. I can't wait to talk about it.
Yeah, it's going to be great. So we're in Malibu with Madison, and he has a seller, Greg, who's trying to sell his house that was previously listed by Madison.
Yeah.
I think it's very interesting that he didn't want to list with Madison again.
I love what what he said about, the second wife and the third broker gets
Yeah.
all the good deals. I thought that was
And you can't take it
hilarious.
personally. It's business, and he
Yeah.
totally knew because maybe the next house, he wants Madison to sell. So it's totally cool.
Who knows?
I was
Maybe we'll
obsessed
see him
with all
again.
the ocean views in this episode.
I
I wanted to cry every
know.
time I saw an ocean
So
view.
Yeah.
beautiful.
So beautiful. Madison's home, every bedroom an ocean view. How
And a
incredible
balcony
is
on
that?
each floor.
No big deal.
No
Hashtag
big
no
deal.
big deal.
It looked like a
Didn't you
castle.
want that house?
That one in
I
Santa
wanted every
Monica.
house.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Well, your new boyfriend. Just put in your requests now. Wait a minute. Maybe some people.
Relax.
Her
Calm down.
her boyfriend was on this episode.
Who?
Don't you dare.
Okay.
Don't you dare
Who?
go there. No.
I
We're
forgot.
not
Keep private,
We're not
private.
going there.
Some
We are not
I got a little bit
There's some
sleepy.
cutie on the episode.
I got a little bit sleepy, sorry. I was like, my bad.
Nice comment. Good job.
But we started with Bobby kissing Josh Flagg. And
Yes.
again, 60 seconds of something that I think should be dragged out a little longer, but they have consummated their proposal. They are not getting married. It wasn't a marriage thing,
Right.
but we're moving along pretty fast.
He
And
said
we,
yes.
at least we
Yeah.
got to see that they opened big and we ended big. But yeah, he said yes, and we got a frozen pizza delivery later in the show. Which
Was it frozen pizza?
Fresh. It was fresh.
Fresh Brothers.
Okay, Fresh
Yeah.
Brothers. Yeah, we're gonna be doing
I
some.
think we can really thank.
Product
We're not to jump in, yeah. Fresh
Definitely.
Brothers DiGiorno, which
We
one?
have a major
Shout
sponsor
out.
tonight, so we are going to be doing some wonderful shout outs. Definitely for Helix Sleep Bed. Go ahead.
Oh, I didn't know if you want to
Not
jump
yet,
in.
not
Okay.
yet. No, I'm just
Are
going to
we
be
doing
promoting
it?
them all night.
Okay.
That's
okay.
me. I mean, I give. I just give. And it is a fabulous product, let me tell you. But
We just had Christmas, so that's.
you want to go right into it?
No, go for
What
it.
can be good Valentine's Day?
Excellent. So we are so happy to talk about Helix Sleep, and night after night, two people lay in the same bed.
True. Or more.
Hey,
But when it comes time to buy a new mattress, only one usually gets their way, right?
which is wrong.
Exactly. Until now, introducing Helix Sleep, where you can buy a mattress online, customized for both of you, for hundreds of dollars instead of thousands.
Sounds like a great deal.
Yes, go to helix.com, answer a few simple questions based on 4 key preferences, and the result will be a custom sleep profile used to build the most comfortable mattress you will ever sleep on. Your mattress will arrive at your door in about a week, and shipping is completely free.
Can't beat that.
No, I love. Anytime I hear free in the ad, I'm there. And for couples, Helix customizes each side of the mattress, personalized to suit each of your bodies in the way you
a
both
win-win.
sleep. It is, absolutely. Helix customers report a 30% improvement in overall sleep quality. And you can have 100 nights to try it out. And if you don't love it, they will pick it up free and give you a full refund, no questions asked.
That sounds
Great for people with
That's
commitment
a good
issues.
selling point.
Exactly. That's why everyone from GQ magazine to Forbes are talking about Helix Sleep. Go to helixsleep.com/podcast and get $50 off your order. That's helixsleep.com
Just keep rolling.
/podcast.
/podcast.
Keep rolling in.
helixsleep.com/podcast is where you go.
Yeah.
$100,
I'd like to thank them for that
hundreds of dollars
sponsorship.
for a bed instead of thousands is
And
definitely
this
a
is
good
the
selling
time
point.
of year. You're starting fresh. You have your beautiful $1 million home. This bed goes
the
perfectly
ocean
in
view.
it. With the
Yep.
ocean, you want to start fresh for the new year. This is the perfect time to
and
buy.
100 days to try it out.
Yes, you can't go wrong
That's
with that.
long enough. That's not just,
You will know
one
after
month.
one night.
That's enough
but,
time.
Yeah.
I mean, let's
Yeah.
say you had an extended escrow or a lease back or something, and you only needed a bed for a certain amount of time.
and then you will take it with you because you will fall in love with this. It's like it's
Exactly.
quality made just for you. I just love it.
Yeah.
All right.
I have no
Extended
complaints.
escrow, I like that.
I don't think our viewers will have any complaints. What do you guys think? Comment down below.
Yes.
Helix Sleep. Go for it.
And we want to know how you like it. Yeah, tell us how you like it too, because we're gonna get one.
Yeah.
That sounds
I was also thinking that Tony Duquette house.
Yes.
What kind of mattresses do they have in there?
Oh
'Cause
my
they have a
gosh.
whole bunch of eclectic
Yeah.
furniture going on.
Well, everything seems super custom in that house, that I have to say. You would want a custom mattress to match the decor.
How
go.
perfect. Well, I have
perfect.
Blam.
exactly.
Beautiful.
Bam. There you go. But I have seen that house so many times on so many different shows.
Right. You were
So
mentioning that.
my personal feeling is I love seeing the house. I felt like the seller, who's one of the guys, likes to get it on television, and good for him. We like to see all the beautiful artwork inside, like you were saying, Natalie. It's gorgeous. I think they've always had a problem trying to sell that house, the main one with all the art, because they want a lot of money and they want to keep the art and the house intact, which they should. But I just have this sneaky suspicion, it wasn't on the episode at all tonight, that he doesn't really want to sell. This is a great, and they did
and
kind
Flagg, Josh Flagg doesn't want to sell it. He
I
knows
think-
it. And a lot of his
yeah.
homes are these beautiful historic homes with like all this gorgeous art, tons
cares.
of history.
Uh-huh.
And he turned down $35 million worth of
Exactly.
business because Josh's heart is in the right place.
He understands the culture of
Yeah.
Beverly Hills, growing,
He does. He
generation after
definitely
generation.
does.
His family has been there,
Yeah.
so he gets who's lived where, what this property is worth. What's
Yeah.
the history behind each.
He just
And-
wants someone to come and bulldoze the place and turn it into
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what
He's
you
been good in
saying.
this season, protecting a lot of homes.
He was
Right.
brought up that way, so he appreciates fine art
Yeah.
and everything that goes along with it in history. But I do feel he knew the seller would never sell anyways. And there was a little product placement on the show where they talked
Just
about
a tad.
Duquette studios. Everything was furnished by them. Good for them. Good for them. But I feel like Josh already knew what time of day it was. This guy's never going to sell. But I do have, this is just my personal belief, but I felt like the owner needed a little bit of money to keep the house intact, keep everything. And so selling that side house was the right thing to do. If you can get $4 million. Did they end up selling at the end of the episode?
I don't
I don't believe they discussed the rest of it.
No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But you know, if anybody was going to find a client that wants any sort of historic home that they're not going to tear it down, Josh Flagg is the perfect person to vet those people out and find the right buyer.
And for Josh to even go the extra step of printing those signs, those fragile do not touch signs.
Taping
and ripping it off the painting.
And being like,
nobody saw that. Nobody saw that one.
That was cute. But yeah, if he sells the $4 million side house, that looked way more modern, way less historic. That would be fine. And then the guy can keep the house. I felt like they were partners or something. They both worked together for many, many years, and I think that's great that he's keeping everything the way it was. And for people that will appreciate it, maybe one day it'll be a museum. Who knows, right?
Who knows? Anything
He's
could
so
happen.
respected. Did you hear all, like his success? He was talking about how, you know, no big deal. He's second in the city. This year as a
Who
real
was
estate.
first?
I don't know.
It was Josh Altman, wasn't it? I mean, they had that huge blowout last season. I'm thinking, and Josh made it very clear he is number one. So I felt like it is. He
in the city.
In the city, in the city of Beverly Hills. Yeah.
I have to confirm this.
Maybe
he's number 9
show.
in 3 in the state and 9 in the country.
That's
like,
pretty big.
That's
what
incredible.
A huge prestige. Like I'm the number 9 selling.
I know, I'm like, why does he
country.
keep focusing on selling real estate than his book tour? People keep telling me, well, you can make 50 grand, you know, a speech. And so, Josh Altman. So I'm thinking, if, you know, you guys are making this much money, you're number 9, number 8, you know, they all have very high numbers. Why wouldn't you just want to really focus on keep selling that Beverly Hills real estate?
Well, it's all about his, you know, what's brought him here too is a big fan base. And I think a lot of these realtors look up to him. They don't only want to watch the show, but they want to learn a one-on-one, as close as you can get to it, you know, kind of speaking engagement from him.
And usually you get a really good year out of a new book, and then you move on. So I like how he is putting a lot of energy in it in this first year, and then you get a big pop, and then you probably have to do another book after. I don't know that he'll continue touring that heavily.
You weren't here when we had the two, when we had Heather and Josh here, but we asked them, you know, why do you do this? Why do you mentor people? And both Heather and Josh spoke about how awesome it was, the mentors that they had, and how many people helped them get to where they got to.
That's great.
So they genuinely both love giving back.
Oh, that's great.
Genuinely enjoy it.
Well, they looked so cute tonight.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we'll get to the ending later, but I love, that's how you close a season and a show. It was super. I love it. I love them.
Nataly cry.
Just to continue on what we were talking about, mentorship versus selling. I think a lot of them, it's kind of like comedians that are also actors. They'll go and do movies, but they'll always come back to the stage because that's like their bread and butter.
That's Erica. That is so well said.
Yeah,
exactly.
Good point.
Exactly. And you do make a lot of money when your book goes to number 1. It is big money. I just want him to keep focused on the real estate. I want the episodes to go on, and I
mean,
like
look at it. Even realtors didn't buy that book only.
Yeah.
I think it was a good book, just a motivational book. How to dress well. That's for any, you know, occupation. So
Late
I
night
think
talk show hosts.
Late night, the latest late show on YouTube.
That lavender suit tonight was great, but it almost, that whole book thing reminded me of Trump back in the 80s when he did it. It was very similar, or how to live your life at an exceptional way or whatever. I'm not saying I'm a Trump supporter at all, one way or the other. I'm just saying it reminded me. No, I don't want to get any hate.
No, we're not getting into politics.
We weren't getting in
there.
No. It was the same type of book where it's not just about real estate. It's about how to live your life successfully, and Josh Altman did the same thing. And like you said, it is mentoring people. Young people today are trying to figure out how to get started and how to do things. That's so wonderful of him to write a book like that. And anytime you can talk about where you know your suits and stuff, I'm buying it just for that. I want to find out about how he does that.
The biggest thing you can take away from anything, I feel like, and with each of these agents on this show, is their standards. Now, I know that goes across the board with anyone successful. They always have high standards, and they don't lower themselves to accomplish little things. They always set the standards so high to accomplish big things. Just like Josh, you know, I remember a couple seasons ago, he wanted to sell $1 million a day.
Yeah.
And so, once again, you know, that applies to anyone in life. selling $1 million a day can apply to, you know, selling insurance. You want to sell this much per day for that, or jewelry, whatever the case may be. So I think that just all these guys can apply.
Trainers, everything.
Yeah, personal trainers,
everything.
Exactly. So I just think these guys carry a lot of weight. Not just they want to speak engagements just for, you know, their engagement with you get what I'm saying.
I get it.
I was like,
Totally
I'm being repetitive at this point.
But all in all, it was good to see that Josh still, and like you were saying, Nick, when he was here, we talked about it, mentorship and everything like that, just giving back. You can't get enough of that. There's good. What does Kevin Undergaro call it? Good.
When you give,
karma
you get. It comes back. You have to give to get, is what Kevin Undergaro says, and I love that. And I think you should live your life that way. Anyways, it's kind of metaphysical too. What you put out comes back to you. So if you put out a lot of misery and negativity and stuff like that, that's what comes back to those people. So I think it goes along with that. You give, it comes back to you for sure.
I had a lot of mentors when I was trying to break into the television news industry, and I made it, and I got my first job in Nebraska, and I went to the boonies, and you know, tiny little town, and then I made it into California, and I had so many great mentors. And when girls and young girls reach out to me off of LinkedIn, I'm like, call me, I want to help. It's just there's something so great about being able to like use your experiences and helping others.
I remember you talking about the people who mentored you were super helpful. That you hadn't even met some of them in person, and they were just so willing to just guide you in the right direction. Give you that motivation.
Shout out to her.
We'll just throw out the name.
Just to throw out one name.
And those are the people you want to help. The people that give to you unconditionally, it's like you want to give back to them too. So it just goes back and forth.
And that you made me think of Alan and Bonnie, who were the clients tonight for James and David. Who had their house on the market for 2 years. And
talk about stale. That's
ahead.
like done. How do you pick it up?
After 2.5 years, David and James come in and sell the house
in a week.
It was like under 2 weeks, right? Like a week.
Josh Hellman sold the house in 48 hours, and they did it in like a week. How wonderful!
And it's in a house that was in the market for 2.5 years.
But as we've seen, James and David constantly put out that good customer service, going back to a couple episodes ago, and they followed through on that. I mean, how do you even? I don't even know how you take a house that's been on the market for 2.5 years, flip it for basically the same price, and you get an offer within the first week.
Because they're David and James.
And
Can we talk about how adorable his family is, James's family? Yeah. They're so cute. His little
Congratulations to them on the side note.
Yes, they got the house.
And they're with the agency, and they even said it. This is a premier agency, which we all know. And I liked how, once again, Mauricio came into the episode just for a few seconds. He's the one that referred David and James, which I think also he knows this is a reality show going on. This is a great way to get more exposure, to help out people that are on a major national show. So it works out for everybody. But I think, you know, they do spend a lot of time with the pictures, putting it together, getting it out there, and they are highly connected, you know, in Beverly Hills area.
What I love too is that, as we saw in tonight's episode, they include a lot of their other agents in their office. So they're sharing it not only with the outside agencies, but with internal.
Which is smart. I mean, you're getting more for the agency, and
like when Gina and Laurent were here, they, you know, we've seen that's how they ended up with that sale. It was because David and James put it out there for them, and they had a buyer, and it worked out for them. I just love that they don't only put it out for their clients, they put it out for their fellow agents as well.
That's the way to do it. You got to network. Caravan. Caravan within the agency.
But we also saw, speaking of family, Nick, we also saw David's brother Michael show up at the end.
You guys knew immediately that was Michael, and I'm like, is it really him? Is he out? Because I haven't seen him in so many episodes, and I was wondering, is he okay and everything? So we got some closure on that, and he's all better, and I'm so happy for David and him, and that worked out really well.
Yeah, we talked to David about it when he was here.
Okay.
And, it was a hard conversation, but he was so happy to tell us.
He was happy to talk about it. He was
so you already knew. Oh, okay. I gotta watch your old episodes. I've seen all the show episodes, but you guys got so much inside information. Bravo.
Because we talked to David a few weeks after we saw on television that his brother was diagnosed with a brain tumor. And
he was
it was like 2 or
heartbroken.
3 weeks. It was very close to that.
Yeah, because I think James was here around the time that we found
Right
out, like an
after.
episode
It was.
or so
It was
after
the
we found
it was
out.
the week after.
Oh, shout out to James. I have to do this because I know you guys are watching this show. Thanks so much for watching last week. We appreciate it.
Yes.
Okay. I had to just sneak that in there.
Side note. Thank you guys so much for being
Thank you for
supportive
following
of
us on
So-
Twitter, too. Yeah, we appreciate it.
But I think that's part of the beauty of this show is that we don't only get the beautiful homes, because of course we're going to see those, but we also see the relationships between people, even though
That's what I
with
like.
Josh and Bobby we don't see that
Yeah.
much, but that's their choice. Having David be so open with his brother, I just think it's endearing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we talk a lot about balance, about the crazy real estate world and how tough it is to have balance because it's not a 9-to-5 job. It's a 24/7 job.
Yeah.
A lot of real estate agents say, and they show, because both David and James talked about how difficult that balance is, but when you watch them, they're doing a great job at it.
They
They're
are.
spending time with family. They're having dinners together.
Yeah.
They're,
Yeah.
you
They
know.
seem like brothers. I
Yeah.
mean, I really thought they were brothers.
Oh, yeah.
Again, at the beginning of the
they
season, like,
say
wait
they
a minute,
are.
I know.
Yeah, they say
They're
are.
like best friends for life.
I remember
they say they're
talking with
brothers.
James, and I was like, I remember I discussed how I kind of want to see more of the family life and
Yes.
of each person.
That's
for
what I
next season.
love.
That'd be
You said
awesome.
you wanted an entire episode of just their families.
Yeah, well, it's something different. You know, we don't get to see them selling houses, but just see how their daily routine is.
Yeah.
You know, coming home from work, what do they do now? Especially Josh Flagg. I think we've all discussed plenty of times how much we love seeing them have family dinners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think seeing that side of these guys, because we're a lot of seasons in at this point, and we feel really connected to these guys.
Yeah.
And maybe we want to see another side to them at this point. Shout out to the producers, you know, whatever.
Well, we saw James' wife before, right? And the two kids.
Oh, yeah.
And it's been a while, though. I feel like it's been a while since we've
has been
seen
some time
them.
since we've seen
So it's
them.
like, oh, yeah, he's married and he has 2 kids. That's right. Now, were they living in
And
studio?
he's constantly posting on them,
Yeah.
the 2
Yeah.
kids on Instagram. It is
Aw.
adorable.
Yeah.
When we talked to James about his 2 girls when he was here, his like eyes lit up the
So
minute
excited
he
to
saw
discuss-
them
yeah.
because we
On
were
the
watching the
episode.
episode with him, and he's like, "Oh, my girls!" It's just adorable, like how much he loves his kids, and it was fun to see them on camera.
Yeah. Were they living in Studio City before they bought the house tonight?
That I don't know.
I don't know where they
Okay,
were.
I
have no
didn't
idea
ask.
where they were.
You didn't ask.
No,
I didn't ask really.
Well, listen, hold on. I
Sorry.
felt like if
Didn't
they
do my
have
due
a
diligence.
$2.3 million budget, nothing against Studio City, I love it, but I feel like you could be closer to Beverly Hills and the agency and where you're working for that amount of
They're
money.
talking about their kids.
Yeah, because
Okay.
the daughter's
School.
school is right
If it's
there.
about, if it's the school,
All
it's
of
the
us,
school.
listen here.
If it's, yeah, for the kids, you want good
kids.
schools and good churches and temples.
All her
and-
friends were
More
like within a
spacious.
quick little radius.
So
Yeah.
maybe that's where they were already living.
Yeah.
Studio
Possibly,
City.
yeah.
Possibly.
It
Makes
looked the
sense.
same. It looked like the white picket fence and the green grass. I'm like, the house. You're moving into a house that looks exactly the same almost, but it looked new. The new one looked new, and I like how we had to follow along and see what we all have to do. We have to make the money first before we can get that huge,
Oh,
you
they're
know,
smart
big.
with their money.
Oh
I love
yeah,
seeing that.
absolutely.
And we saw David get married last season.
No, he hasn't gotten married yet.
No.
Wait a minute.
They're planning it. No.
Oh, they're still
planning it
planning.
right
Okay,
now.
so that was
Yeah.
like an engagement thing.
We discussed the whole shebang with him.
Yeah.
They built
They got
up
a lot
really.
planned.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I'm very
A lot
jealous
coming.
still to this day.
She's pretty too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's almost like Bobby and Josh Flagg. It's built up so huge just for the engagement. It's like a huge
was
thing.
like
It almost feels like a
episodes.
wedding, right? I know.
Yeah.
But
are we gonna get to
looking
it?
looking back at
wedding.
all of it, I do think Bravo really respected their privacy. They give so much to this show, wake up to going to sleep, that I think when they just want some privacy with some things, especially like an engagement or such a
Yes.
emotional, sentimental moment, they give
make
it to
it
them.
happen.
Yeah.
Heather and Josh Altman, though, for sure give the most. They show the most. We've seen them literally in bed. Because I remember.
That's true.
I remember Josh Altman wearing boxer shorts and everything. Getting
Natalie's like, what?
I know what. That was a
must
few
have missed
seasons
this
ago.
episode.
This was early on. They were living in a really cute little white house. It looked like a
remember that.
cottage.
Oh,
Remember
yeah.
that?
Yeah.
That was
And
a
he
while
was in
ago.
bed with her. Remember, this is when they were dating. Okay.
Yeah.
But it was so cute, and it's like, wow, you're gonna show everything. It was.
Yeah.
I like that, and they, speaking of respecting privacy and everything, that's great that Josh Flagg may want to do that. Maybe it's a producer's choice. I don't know, but with Josh Altman and Heather, we get a lot, and I love following
true.
their story.
We saw
I
them
love
from
it.
the very beginning, though. We saw them when they first met. We saw
Yes.
them when they started dating.
When
Josh
she was working
proposed.
for Madison.
Yeah, so we've seen their entire thing. So I can understand why, especially because they called off their wedding once before already. I can understand why they wanted to take a more private route with it.
They're still giving a lot, though.
Yeah,
They're
that's
giving
what
a
I'm
lot.
saying. They're still, but they can take that one moment just for themselves, and I don't think there's a problem with that.
Right.
I loved all the negotiating with Altman in this episode. I thought it was amazing.
I was gonna say
the location.
High stress,
were they in a hangar, or was like a private?
Yeah, Van Nuys Airport or Burbank Airport. I want to know what airport they were at, first of all, because there's so many.
So
I think
cool
there's one in Santa
that.
Monica because the buyer wanted to be 10 minutes from the airport.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So it wasn't
he wanted
LAX.
Santa Monica. Altman's buyer wanted Santa Monica.
Well, he
He wanted on the beach,
Somewhere on the
literally.
beach.
Right.
And this is like the only one
No inventory at
on Santa
all.
Monica,
Yeah.
which I call South Malibu because it really is the tail end.
yeah.
And then because the other side where you saw the fair and the carnival and everything, that's like you said, it's all eateries and hotels and 5-star hotels. There really are no houses.
like the
That is where,
ashes.
that is where it ends. And there's even a country club right where that house was, right around there. But it's almost all businesses on the other side.
Yeah.
So this is
Yeah.
your only choice. And I thought he's just going to take it, but he was hard-nosed negotiating through the
Yeah.
whole thing. And of
He
course
was
Josh is
tough.
too. Yeah.
But that house, like right on
Was
the beach,
lovely.
was
Amazing.
amazing.
Yeah.
The negotiating was amazing, and I loved seeing Josh Altman's passion and excitement for the business when the deal closed. Did you see like his eyes
Yeah.
just glowing?
Yeah.
Like, yes, this is why I love real estate. I
These
love,
guys
love,
hustle,
love seeing
hustle,
that.
hustle. I loved it how it was crunch time. He was leaving to Miami in 3 hours.
Yeah.
He wanted to close this.
Yeah.
The client was about to leave,
Yep.
fly back to Arizona. He knew he had to make it happen, and he did. Even for less than what it was worth. And they all knew it was 6.8, and they still got it less.
Yeah.
I don't understand, and Josh didn't understand either, that 6665. I don't know.
I honestly think
I
that
didn't
he
get that
just
either.
threw it off his head.
Off his head.
I totally think so, yeah.
Well,
Because he
worked
said
out.
50. Yeah, he said 50. So, and Altman is so fast, so smart. He caught him on that, and he fixed it. But that whole thing with Madison adding a 10, I get numerology. I follow numerology. I believe in that stuff. But what's the 10? I didn't quite
don't
get the 6, 5,
Ooh,
10.
I just got a numerology report, and
Oh.
it tells me that next year is going to be a good year for me to buy real estate. And my goal for
Oh.
next year is to buy real estate
That's
by
awesome.
December.
Oh,
Yes.
awesome! By December of 2017.
Yes.
Okay,
crazy.
girl.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Are you looking in Beverly Hills?
I don't know where I'm looking at. No, I'm going to stick to San Gabriel Valley, Pasadena, Arcadia,
It's
that
so
area.
nice. So you can't go wrong.
Yeah.
Anything you get in Los Angeles, it's gonna go
Speaking
up.
of
You're winning.
numerology.
You're winning. You know how
Yeah,
many people
with
want to
your
be here?
numerology, though, I had to.
Well,
plug myself.
I think the week before, Josh Flagg added 777 or something. That
Yeah.
is actually a very lucky number. It's good around the world. I think even the Asian market responds to 7, 8.
Eight.
That's
Too.
it.
Eight.
Because Madison, remember,
That's right.
777's really good in Vegas.
Definitely, definitely. And it has a metaphysical meaning and all that. So people respond to those things.
Yeah.
And if you go to some very, very exclusive neighborhoods in Los Angeles, and I'm talking really, really upscale, the numbers are all like that. They're
People get really
Yeah.
superstitious.
and
with
like
it.
3337 is your address and 7771 and
Yeah.
they are very lucky
Yeah.
and I think people respond to that. I think it's funny sometimes when you find out somebody's last name and then the street that they live on or the city has the same name. So I think people are drawn to all of
Yeah.
that for sure.
I make new plans during the new moon.
Oh, that's right. You told us
Yeah.
about
I do
that.
that. I'm a superstitious.
I do that too.
Yeah,
gosh.
new moon.
I am so tied to the moon cycles. You have no idea. You have
We're
I
all
follow them.
crazy over here.
I follow them. No, for sure, for sure,
There's
for
nothing
sure.
crazy about that. I wonder if any of the guys on the show do any of that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Especially if it works once, you're gonna like sports. You're just gonna keep doing it over and over and over again.
Wear the same old socks all the time.
There you go.
Your team always wins. Just happens.
That was what's that Latin singer's name? I can't remember, but he actually is so superstitious
Okay.
that he wears the same underwear for the last 20 years every time he performs for like 20,000 people.
Are they
30.
What is this?
I know. What?
wanna see.
He sang with Diana Ross. That one song was a big hit song.
No idea.
And then his son is now a famous Latin singer.
I don't know.
Okay, you guys will probably know. Write it in the comments.
Are you talking
he
about
had-
Santana?
No. He's like so famous, it's ridiculous. He actually had an affair with Yolanda
Oh.
from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. He took her to an exclusive hotel in
Was
Holland.
it? I know his name.
That's
You
the guy I'm
love
talking
reality
about.
Was it
shows.
JLo's ex-husband?
What's it? Julio Iglesias?
Oh.
Julio Iglesias.
Okay.
He is so superstitious that he hit it big when he was wearing this underwear. Look it online. It's true.
good luck, it's
and
okay.
he will not. Every time he performs, he has the same underwear he puts on.
Oh.
Interesting.
Well, that's
Yeah.
Yeah,
cool.
people are crazy
I was gonna
superstitious.
say-
I totally get that.
I just cheered because Nick had a little tumble.
Why'd you say anything? I played it off so good.
What happened?
I think you got the point.
Yeah.
You got it. You were like,
The last episode, we're going
This
out with
girl.
a bang.
Got you.
I was gonna say, speaking of bang, is that inappropriate? Somebody
Well,
had a baby
So
announcement.
that's a funny thing. So when we were talking about the Helix and I said or more people for the bed, I was gonna jump into Josh Altman and Heather, but then I realized, oh no, that's a little bit too much. But you have a little baby coming on the way.
Baby bump.
Add number 3 to the bed.
I love Heather Altman.
I do too.
adore her.
Yeah.
She's
So
the cutest.
gorgeous.
She's just adorable. I love how she tells Josh that she's pregnant, and then she goes, "Okay, so here's what you have to do now.
That was
the
cute.
baby needs.
He had no idea.
I'm gonna
And
need
he's
a
buying
foot
in.
massage every night and a bubble
He's like,
bath.
okay.
You have to cater to me and the baby. I'm carrying your child now."
And at first he was like, okay.
Am I
And then
ever
when
gonna
he
get to
heard-
say that to somebody? I'm
you heard
carrying
the
your
bath.
child. I need I need you to do this, and
I'm
that.
gonna need a foot massage every night and a bubble bath. So take care of me.
He was all in on the foot massage. Like he was like, okay, I can see how the baby
Yeah.
can
He
sleep
He was like,
better.
yeah, okay.
And then she went to the candles and blah blah. Okay, and then he caught on. It took him a while though. I'm like,
yeah.
I knew what she was
I
doing
was
right
like,
away.
Yeah,
You
he
know
was
who
so
she reminds me
excited.
of? Heather Locklear. Doesn't she look like Heather Locklear from what was that Santa Monica show?
I can see that a little bit.
And Dynasty and all those shows. That's who she kind
Am I
of
thinking
looks
of
like more and more.
Goldie Fawn?
Goldie Hawn.
Goldie Hawn?
You're really good with your reality.
I was gonna say, speaking of
She
Kate
just celebrated her birthday here in Beverly Hills, at one of the
Nice.
hotels
Ooh, Goldie
with with Hudson, her
I was gonna say,
daughter,
maybe we'll see
her
her
gorgeous
on an
daughter.
episode. Maybe she'll
Yeah.
be buying a
Oh,
house.
Goldie, yeah, please come on any show. We love you. I love you. And Kate Hudson, she's like, oh my gosh, she's so fantastic. We were talking about her tonight.
I love all the side notes here.
Yeah.
Heather Locklear.
Let's talk
Heather,
about-
no, Heather. They have their
Heather with the baby.
Yeah.
They have their
I
first
still
same
say-
name.
I still
Yeah.
say that there was a bump there.
Yes.
No, I didn't.
I
see
still,
it.
and we think it was Flagg.
No.
What? Why are we down the middle? I feel like we're always like
Yeah.
that. There's always
We even rewinded a couple times to really look at it.
Yeah.
But you guys scooped it out long time ago. You were the first ones to have Heather here on the show and
Yes.
reveal all this information. So we were like,
So
great.
she's having a girl.
Yeah, it was kind of public, I think,
They
at that
have
point.
not announced the name yet,
No.
but they narrow it down from like 6 to 3 or something like that, and then I know they have it now. So
Which was not even revealed on the show
I'm-
tonight. They
no.
did
They
not
had
even
the
say a
boy's
boy or
name
girl.
though. If it was a boy, they had the boy's name
Did
ready. I
they?
believe.
Did
Yeah.
they know
If
it?
I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken, I
they're
believe.
having
it.
a little girl.
Yeah. Which
That's
is
great.
And that's what they were talking about as well when they were here about how Josh is going to just become like a puddle.
Yeah.
He's just going to be.
Yeah, and
one
Heather's
look at
gonna
her
have
and
to
he's
be
gonna
the
done.
like the more the discipliner and the,
Yeah.
That makes sense. Isn't that how it usually
Because
works?
Josh was talking about how much he has to negotiate at work and how hard he has
Yeah.
to do all that. So
Yeah.
when it comes to his own family, he's
Of course, you want to come home
too
and
much. Yeah,
be the opposite.
spoil them, give them whatever they want.
That's the way I am with my fur babies. It's like whatever you guys want, you got it.
I did love
Yeah.
the home video or the cell phone video.
The review.
at
Yeah.
Oh, when
Josh's
they told
parents.
their parents.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Josh's
And they were
parents.
confused. Like they held up the onesie and it still didn't
It took
register.
his mom like
Yeah.
Your
a second, a few
grandparents.
seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who was holding the camera though?
I think they just had it set
It
up
looked
like
set up.
across the way.
Like
Yeah.
you do for us.
But
You know how you can set up the camera and then do a countdown? I didn't even know that until Nick did that.
yeah.
When we had Gina on 2 weeks
We
ago.
were like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want group shots of everybody. And
Yeah.
so you were able to do that. We
Yeah.
were all in the same
With a
thing.
timer.
Exactly. So it looked like maybe that's what they did. You could tell it was a little sketchy, but we need to see those moments. That was super. They're grandparents now, finally.
Yeah.
So when do we come back? Have we figured
Who
this out?
knows? I don't know.
Are you guys doing other
I don't
shows where
know.
we can watch you?
I'm doing This Is Us, which returns on January 12th.
Thank you, because you did two
Yeah.
shows before you started this one. What were those two shows?
I did, Rich Kids of Beverly Hills and DJ NYC. But those were my two.
Okay.
We weren't gonna leave just yet.
Oh, I didn't think
had
we
to
were
give
done.
Thank yous.
We have so much to talk about tonight.
We were gonna do a whole celebration. What other shows are you
Oh,
on?
okay. Well, I wanted to start this show. They actually cast me for it, and I was doing Finding Prince Charming, which is in reruns right now. You can watch it also on AfterBuzz. I am the fill-in for The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I am hoping so much to get back on there because every time somebody can't show up, I am there. That's Tuesday nights here at AfterBuzz as well. Pop is wrapping up. I think we have 2 more episodes. That's Wednesday nights. And then there is a new show called on E called The Abbey. Now, I actually
saw the commercial.
Okay.
Did you see it? I actually got castings for that over and over during the summer. I'm like, I don't know if I want to do this because it's like it felt like background-y, but now that I know we're covering it, and I think they're going to have celebrities, but I feel like, I was looking at it again this week, I feel like it's a takeoff of Bravo's Vanderpump Rules, where they're going to be following a lot of the bartenders.
Isn't it like right next door?
It's right next door, right? It's on Robertson, and she's kind of like on Robertson too. She's got 2 or 3 restaurants. Well, she has 3 now. She's got a 4th opening up on Santa Monica Boulevard. Oh, I know, and they are literally like there's only 1 bar in between of them, and one has a Bravo show, one is on E. So I may be doing that. I think that's going to start in 2017. I hope we come all back together here for the spring or whenever it starts again, and hopefully they'll check our schedules for that. Where can they find you?
Because I will miss all of you a whole lot. So we'll have to wait and see when we all get back. But
any other shows?
I'm definitely coming back. So I will definitely stay here on $1 Million Listing.
Yay.
And you can find me on The Voice, Jane the Virgin, and I'm trying really hard to get on a brand new show. So my brother and I are catching up on the 91-92 series of Twin Peaks. And we're getting that. The Twin Peaks is coming back after like 20-something years.
I know. There's so many shows coming back. It's like a reboot, right?
Yeah.
Totally fresh cast.
So I'm so excited for that one. So that's where you can find me, and you can find me selling real estate. Because I just got my license.
Yay.
So I'll be diving into that 100%.
What's the name of the company?
Plug yourself.
And what's the agency?
I'll be working for a Century 21. It's called
Your Century 21
Golden in Pasadena.
And what agency are you with?
Net Seekers.
Net Seekers, okay.
What's happening?
Nick,
Nick, where are you selling real estate?
I am not selling any real estate.
Nick works out at the Equinox.
And
I work out at Equinox all over LA. You can find me on Nick Mardi 13 on Instagram. I'm probably posting a picture wherever I am. But you can also find me on YouTube at The Latest Late Show with Nick Mardi. You can just type in my name. It's really goofy, overboard, late night show wannabe. I film it in my room, but it's actually a studio. Make believe.
But I did want to.
You know what? One time
you
had like a
before
poster
we
fall when I
actually
saw the
go.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember that.
I did want to give a thank you to all of our wonderful guests that came
Yes.
on.
Yeah.
Yes.
James and David and Angela, who was here most recently, Gina and Laurent, Josh and Heather. You guys made this after show so great. Thank you so much. Again, you're welcome back at any time.
Yes, please come back.
But yeah,
I want to meet all of you.
I have loved each after show with you guys.
You are an amazing lead
so much
host.
fun.
Thank you.
We seriously had so much fun this season.
It's been a good show. Thanks to AfterBuzz TV for even bringing $1 Million Listing Los Angeles to or for an after show. Thank you to everybody that tuned in, that listened, that watched on YouTube. We thank you very, very, very much. And I'm getting a little emotional, so I'm going to stop.
And thank you to our sponsor tonight, Helix Sleep. We really, really appreciate you.
Yes.
Yeah.
That sounds like a win-win with Helix.
If we can all raise our glass one last time for the season finale.
Yay.
Cheers. Happy New Year to everybody.
Happy New Year.
2017.
Happy New Year. And Nick, you already let everybody know where you can be found, but let them know one more time.
Nick Mardi 13 and The Latest Late Show on YouTube.
You can't plug yourself like enough.
The Latest Late Show on YouTube.
One more time. Latest Late Show, everybody. Nick Mardi 13. And I'm Nataly Tavidian. Nataly with AY Tavidian. You can find me everywhere.
AKA Golden Boy on Twitter. I'll retweet you if you tweet something like James. And ChrisValentine.LA for all my celebrity interviews. Thanks, guys, for watching.
And one last time for this season anyway, I'm your host, Erica Shannon. You can find me on Twitter at Miss Airy Baby, on Instagram at the Erica Shannon. That's Erica with a C. And I guess we will see you next season. Yay! All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Yeah.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.